Hey kids, today we're going to be talking about the Iran-contra affair. Hey, what's the Iran-contra affair? Glad you asked. Please take a seat. I know the Iran-contra affair sounds like some random scandal that an oil company did, but rest assured, it has everything a movie needs. Hostage situations, money getting lost, and Nicaraguan rebels. Take a seat as I take you on a journey about an event that made everyone involved have a bad Tuesday. Our story starts in a place called Iran. Now, it's the 20s, and Iran is electing their new president or prime minister, I don't really know. One of the guys said, "Why don't we take care of the people who are workers?" And everyone liked him. There's only one person who didn't like him, and that wasn't even a person, it was the CIA. They thought he was communist or something, so the CIA did what the CIA does best, and they straight up assassinated the guy. And they replaced him with the Pahlavi dynasty. Now, although the dynasty only lasted 2 guys, those kings, or as they call them, shahs, were very brutal. The Iranian people did not like him, mostly because he was un-Islamic. Question: wasn't he Muslim? Yes, but he was a very bad one because he never said the Shahada, he never prayed, he never paid charity, he never participated in Ramadan, he never went to Saudi Arabia, and he never went to Mecca to do the Hajj, and he was an alcoholic. Question: which one are you talking about? I'm talking about the last one. The only problem was the Iranian people didn't know what to do once the guy left, until a guy with a funny turban and even a funnier beard said, "Hey guys, I'm the Ayatollah. If you kick him out, I'll be Iran's new king." And the revolution started in the 1970s or the 1980s, or whichever you consider the 1979 is in. Yeah, that's cool, but all of this has nothing to do with an affair. Wait, we're getting there. Which one of these countries is Nicaragua? I don't know. That one. Wrong. It's this one. Ever since World War II ended, the US has been especially afraid of Nicaragua falling into communist hands, so they established a brutal dictatorship. Even reporters said they have nothing to worry about unless the Soviet got their hands on Nicaragua. Why did they establish a brutal dictatorship? So they can prevent a communist takeover. What happens next? A communist takeover. A group of guys called the Sandistas who were very keen on Nikita Khrushchev, and they set up to replace one brutal dictator with a brutal dictator. Everything went according to plans for the Sandistas, and it turns out people don't like dictatorships at all, whether they're a bunch of communist guys or not. So a bunch of guys created a group called the Contras. Now, the United States Reagan administration really liked the Contras so much that Reagan called them the moral equivalent to the founding fathers. Just one problem. Contras got all their money from cocaine sales. I mean, we don't know if the founding fathers were coke dealers. Now, Congress is afraid that the press dogs would smell the crack on them, so they gave Reagan a 5-minute break and passed a bill saying Reagan can't send any more money to the Contras. Yeah, that's cool, but when are you going to start talking about the affair? Calm down, I'm getting there. Now, back to Lebanon. Lebanon is in the middle of the most brutal civil war in Middle Eastern history. A group called Hezbollah is in the front lines leading the civil war, and now this group discovered that its new pastime is taking American hostages, so they took 6 of them. Reagan's administration was worried and wanted to bring them back home, so they started thinking of different ways. They finally decided on an idea. It was to give Iran military equipment and let them help us release them. Why would they talk to Iran? Because Iran was closely tied to Hezbollah. But there was a problem. There's a trade embargo on Iran. You can't ship them oranges, let alone high-grade military equipment. Iran was willing to help, but Reagan's administration needed to do this secretly. They gathered $30 million of taxpayer money, built military equipment, and sent it to Tehran. Alright, that's the end of the drama, isn't it? They get all the money, they talk Hezbollah out of it, and the hostages get to come home. The end. That was a plan, but just like everything, it's way more complicated than that. It turns out they only released 3 out of the 6 hostages. Then they grabbed 3 more. Wow, they restocked on hostages. Yeah, I know, right? Reagan called the Ayatollah and asked him why did they only release 3. Turns out only $12 million of the $30 million worth of military equipment would made it. As far as they know, pirates took it. So they went scrambling and they figured out what happened to the money. A Chad named Oliver North took a large portion of the money and sent it to the Contras. It looks bad for Reagan, and better yet, the press finally got a hold. So now they're in double trouble. A lot of bad things had nearly happened afterward. Reagan nearly got impeached, and a lot of officials went to jail, and many more were sent to trial. Here's the deal. The Iran-contra affair was a big mistake that should have never happened. Just like my first date. A lot of money went missing, and Hezbollah never got paid. It was a bad day for everyone. The moral of the story is, human trafficking for ransom isn't a lucrative business.